Zeus, the father of betrayal. Zeus stands as one of the most despised figures in God of War, embodying hypocrisy, deceit, and unrelenting tyranny. As king of Olympus, Zeus outwardly preaches order and justice. Yet behind the facade, he manipulates, betrays, and sacrifices anyone who threatens his rule, including his own children. His paranoia stems from the same cycle of betrayal he himself participated in when he overthrew his father, Kronos. This paranoia reaches its breaking point in God of War 2. At first, Zeus appears to aid Kratos during his battle with the Colossus of Rhodes, seemingly guiding him as an ally. But this is a calculated deception. When Kratos is vulnerable, Zeus seizes the opportunity to strike, stripping him of his godhood and stabbing him with the blade of Olympus. The betrayal is shocking, sending Kratos to the underworld and sparking a war between father and son that would consume all of Greece. From that moment forward, Zeus represents everything corrupt about the Greek pantheon. He refuses to take responsibility for the chaos he has caused, manipulating gods and mortals alike to maintain his throne. Even in the face of utter destruction, Zeus clings to his belief that he alone is the rightful ruler, blinded by arrogance. Their final clash in God of War 3 is more than just a battle. It is the culmination of years of rage, grief, and vengeance. When Kratos beats Zeus to death with his bare hands, it feels like the end of a tragic cycle of power and betrayal. Zeus's death is not just a personal victory for Kratos, but a symbolic breaking of the chains of corruption that have bound the gods for generations. 2. Baldur, the central antagonist of God of War 2018, is one of the most tragic yet infuriating characters in the series. At first glance, he appears to be just another arrogant god, but his pain runs far deeper. Freya, his mother, cast a powerful spell on him to protect him from harm. The unintended consequence was far worse than any wound. Baldur lost the ability to feel anything at all. He could not experience pain, pleasure, warmth, cold, or even the touch of another person. What might have seemed like a gift became a curse. Over centuries, this absence of sensation drove Baldur into madness. His longing to feel again twisted into hatred, much of it directed toward Freya, whom he blamed for his suffering. Odin, ever the schemer, saw an opportunity and manipulated Baldur into becoming his unrelenting enforcer. Baldur's rage and invulnerability made him the perfect weapon, and he unleashed destruction across the 9 realms without mercy. His first encounter with Kratos sets the tone for the entire Norse saga. Without explanation, Baldur attacks Kratos at his home in one of the most cinematic and brutal fights in gaming history. From that moment on, he relentlessly hunts Kratos and Atreus, driven by his obsession and desire for release from his curse. Despite his tragic backstory, Baldur's cruelty overshadows any sympathy the player might have. His actions bring chaos and suffering to countless lives. By the climax of the game, Kratos offers Baldur mercy and a chance to walk away. But consumed by hate, Baldur chooses instead to kill Freya in a final act of spite. Kratos is forced to intervene, killing Baldur and leaving Freya heartbroken and vengeful. Baldur's story is a tragic cycle of pain and destruction. While his suffering is understandable, his refusal to rise above it ensures that his downfall feels both devastating and necessary, cementing him as one of the most unforgettable villains in the series. 3. Ares, the original god of war. Long before Zeus's betrayal or Odin's schemes, there was Ares, the original god of war and the first great villain of the series. Ares was directly responsible for Kratos' descent into vengeance. As a mortal Spartan general, Kratos was a brilliant and ruthless warrior, but even he faced moments of defeat. In desperation during one such battle, he prayed to Ares for aid, offering his life and loyalty in exchange for victory. Ares answered, granting Kratos incredible power and turning him into an unstoppable force. But Ares' gifts were poisoned. Under his influence, Kratos committed countless atrocities, believing he was serving a greater purpose. Then came Ares' ultimate betrayal, manipulating Kratos into slaughtering his own wife and daughter in a blind rage. This act shattered Kratos completely, binding the ashes of his family to his skin and marking him as the ghost of Sparta. For Ares, this was the forging of a perfect warrior. For Kratos, it was unforgivable. The entire first game revolves around Kratos' quest to kill Ares and free himself from this torment. When Kratos finally defeats him and takes his place as the new god of war, it is both justice and tragedy, as he inherits the very title he once despised. Ares is hated not only for what he did to Kratos, but for the countless lives he destroyed through manipulation and senseless violence. His death is the first step in Kratos' long journey of vengeance. Number 4. Odin, the All-Father of Lies. While Zeus ruled openly through strength, Odin rules through manipulation and deceit. Known as the All-Father, Odin's presence looms over the 9 realms long before he fully appears in God of War, Ragnarok. His rule is built on lies, half-truths, and exploitation. Odin views everyone as a pawn, including his own family. He pits Thor, Heimdall, and others against each other to maintain control. His obsession with knowledge and power drives him to commit horrific acts, even destroying entire realms to further his ambitions. What makes Odin uniquely detestable is how deeply personal his manipulations are. He preys on others' weaknesses, twisting their desires to serve his plans. This is most evident in how he manipulates Atreus, offering friendship and understanding while subtly turning him against Kratos. By the time Odin's schemes are fully revealed, his web of lies has ensnared nearly everyone. His eventual defeat isn't just a physical victory, it's the destruction of an oppressive system built on fear and deceit. Odin's downfall is as satisfying as it is symbolic. 5. Haphastus, the bitter craftsman. At first, Haphastus seems like a rare ally in God of War 3. Banished by Zeus and forced to live in exile, he appears sympathetic and even helpful to Kratos. But as the story unfolds, his true feelings emerge. Haphastus' daughter, Pandora, is central to Kratos' quest to open Pandora's box. Racked with grief and anger over her suffering, Haphastus blames Kratos for everything. His sorrow eventually twists into betrayal, and he attempts to kill Kratos to protect her. The betrayal stings because Haphastus initially seemed trustworthy. When Kratos is forced to strike him down, it adds another layer of tragedy to the endless cycle of vengeance that defines the series. Number 6. Thor, the Thunderer of Asgard. Thor's reputation for brutality is legendary. As Odin's most powerful weapon, he waged war against the giants and terrorized the 9 realms. His mere presence inspires fear. Thor's personal life is equally tragic. His violent relationship with his sons, Magni and Modi, reflects his own internal struggles. When they are killed by Kratos and Atreus, Thor's grief mixes with fury, making him more dangerous than ever. In Ragnarok, Thor's complexity comes to light. Beneath his savagery is a man torn between his duty to Odin and his desire to break free from his father's influence. Despite this depth, Thor remains a destructive force whose battles with Kratos are some of the most intense in the series. His death signifies the end of an era, though the scars of his violence remain. 7. Hermes, the smug messenger god. Hermes may lack the overwhelming power of gods like Zeus or Ares, but his sheer arrogance makes him loathsome. In God of War 3, Hermes serves as a messenger and trickster, constantly mocking Kratos throughout their encounters. His taunts are deeply personal, cutting at Kratos' failures and even mocking the deaths of his family. This makes him more than just an obstacle. He becomes a symbol of the Olympian god's cruelty and disregard for mortals. Defeating Hermes is deeply satisfying, not only granting Kratos the speed he needs to continue his quest, but also silencing the god's relentless insults once and for all. Heimdall, the arrogant guardian of Asgard. Heimdall, introduced in Ragnarok, quickly earns the player's hatred. As Odin's trusted guardian, his ability to foresee opponents' moves makes him nearly invincible. Combined with his overbearing arrogance, he is one of the most infuriating enemies Kratos ever faces. From his first appearance, Heimdall belittles everyone around him, especially Kratos and Atreus. His superiority complex is so extreme that he doesn't just see himself as unbeatable, he views everyone else as beneath him entirely. The battle against Heimdall is a highlight of Ragnarok. Finally, overcoming his foresight and defeating him is both a mechanical triumph and a deeply satisfying narrative moment. Heimdall's death marks a turning point, proving that even those who believe themselves untouchable can fall.